Hello TikTokers, I'm Black Bright News on YouTube and I want to talk about narcissism from a Christian perspective, and I'm going to do kind of a series of them depending on what inspiration I get. So I've had a couple of people, subscribers, write to me and say I have a sibling, or my mother or my father is a narcissist and they don't know what to do about it. The thing is, with narcissists, especially when it's a family member, and especially if you are either responsible for them or they're dependent on you, you can't just walk away. And as a Christian, you might feel as though you have to do certain things, but self-love is more important than anything else. If you don't love yourself, there is nothing you can do for anyone else. So the first thing is, just because you're a Christian, it doesn't mean you have to be a sacrificial lamb. That is not the point of Christianity. It doesn't mean that people can do all kinds of nasty things to you and you have to put up with it under the name of Christianity and because you're showing love. Remember, self-love is in the Bible. And what does self-love mean? Self-love means that you take care of yourself first. Now, the Bible doesn't use self-love. It's a kind of a pseudonym for when God says, love thy neighbour as thyself. In order to love your neighbour, you have to love yourself. And so it's disguised. But the point is that without loving yourself, you can't love anyone else. And nobody should be crossing those boundaries that affect your well-being. If it starts affecting your well-being, you have to kind of think about how you're going to deal with it. Now, why I wanted to talk about this is because I was reading Planet Hurt by Patrick Gaynor. And he said the baseline to human needs that drive human actions is companionship. Now, ironically, when I saw that, I thought, well, really, that is what everybody needs, including narcissists. You know, whether it's your brother or your sister or your mother, sometimes they're hiding the fact that they want your companionship, and so they're seeking your attention in whichever way they know how. And then it's to be loved. Well, we all want to be loved. How hard is it to be loved? When you see your narcissist family member approach you, does your back go up? Do you put on a bad face? Does your body language say, oh my God, you know, here he comes again, or here she comes again, or oh, I wish they'd go away? Does your body language say that? Or is your body language full of love and showing welcome? Welcome into my world, welcome into my heart, welcome into my soul. It's to be needed. Another baseline need is to be needed. We all want to be needed. We all want to feel needed. And the thing is with narcissists, they're no different. But what happens with them, they demand that their needs to be met. And when people demand, we tend to resist and we tend to hold back. And when we hold back, they pick up on it and then they become more and more of a pain. So it is like saying little things about what is needed, what you need from them, and what they need from you. Okay, another one, he said, a baseline human need is to feel important. Well, we all want to feel important. Sometimes when we're at work or even in the home and we're doing so much for our family members, we want them to acknowledge that. We want them to recognize that. And sometimes, because a narcissist feels as though he's entitled to feeling more important than anyone else, you don't get that reciprocation. You don't get anything back. And that's what can be so frustrating. They need to feel as important as you do. You want to feel important, and so do they. This thing keeps slipping, I'm sorry. So do they. So, it's like you're battling against the same needs, only because a narcissist feels entitled, they feel as though they need it more than anyone else. But we all need it. But I was thinking that if you show that someone's important, you might get something back. So it's to be understood. Yeah, we all want to be understood. That's why we communicate. That's why we behave the way we do. That's why we rant and we rave and we kind of share our life experiences and our pain and our joys, because we want to be understood. We want people to understand why we are the way we are. And it's to be seen as relevant. How relevant am I to you? Could I, if I left tomorrow, would there be a hole in your heart? Would you care? Would you miss me? That's what narcissists want to know. They want to know that they're going to be missed, that somebody needs them. And yes, people are so hostile against narcissists, and I can understand why, because they are a bloody pain in the butt. But we have to see a way around it, especially for those people who are married to narcissists or who have a narcissistic parent or a narcissistic sibling and they're stuck with them. There has to be a way around it so that you can still get your peace of mind and you can still get what you need. And it's to be accepted. We all want to be accepted, warts and all. But you'll find that, especially with a narcissist, they're quick to put you down and, find fault with you. And so you don't feel accepted for who you are. You feel criticised. But what Patrick Gaynor was saying is, if those needs are met, we become positive, compassionate, cooperative beings who foster empathy for the other person. And if those needs are not being met, we get hostility, malevolence, that's a wish to be evil, and resistance. So, obviously, with narcissists, their needs are not being met, which is why they become hostile and malevolent and resistant. But our needs are not being met, but because we all have narcissistic traits, but we're not narcissistic to that extent, we can kind of empathize, be compassionate, we can share, we can still do stuff, and we don't come over the same way as they do. But if what he says is correct, it does mean that if you show love, if you show a narcissist love and you show that they're needed and they're important, and you try to understand them and they're seen as relevant and you accept them, that's supposed to turn things around according to his diagnosis, because they're supposed to become compassionate, positive, cooperative. Wouldn't it be worth giving that a bash and see if it works? How are you around your narcissist regardless of the relationship? Yeah, what I wanted that I've already said that. Do they get your back up? It's shown in your body language. Narcissists are very hypersensitive. They pick up on cues. So if you see them coming and you're like, oh, bloody hell, they're going to pick up on that, and you're going to get an argument, and they're going to start something, and they're going to try and bait you. So you have to be aware of that. And if they feel put down, they're going to put you down. And sometimes you're not going to physically say the words put down, but the way you look at them or the way you behave when you're around them, they feel as though they're being put down. To be loved. How are you showing love to your sibling or your narcissistic sibling? How are you showing them love? Especially when times are hard, especially when they're being difficult. Like I said, self-love means you set boundaries. You don't let them take the pee. You don't let them take advantage. You stand your ground. You hold your own. You're a child of God. Be strong in yourself. I always say that. A child of God should not be intimidated by a narcissist. They should not allow a narcissist to get to them. And that is very important. Very, very light, this thing today. But anyway, yeah. Don't have to put up with maltreatment. So, yeah, all I wanted to say is, regardless of who the narcissist is in your life, whether it's a romantic partner or whether it's a family member, the rules are the same. You show love. Don't expect love at the same degree. And whatever you give, don't expect the same in return, because you will be resentful and you will feel angry and you will feel disappointed. Just do what you can do from your side, from the Christian side. God said,